What's up, everybody? Watch a Step here, and I am on the third part of my three-part walkthroughs of the introductory area of Stay Out. Now, the previous two that we've done, the first one was to make sure that we escaped through the handcart, which is the quickest method. The second one is to go through Vladimir, aka the herb guy, to have him escort us over to the area. The third option that you have is also if you talk to San, you can actually talk him into driving you over there. So, basically, going through the dialogue, you can just go through here, and sooner or later, he's going to tell you he needs to get some very very sought after items for his truck to be able to actually take it and drive it. So, looking at the actual gear he has for sale, he's got a flashlight, which is very nice. Other than that, he's got a lot of healing stuff. So, it's nice to get him some items in there. Now, just to look, personal credits, he does take any form of food. So, stew meat, you'll find a lot of stew meat if you constantly do some other things. Ethanol, chemicals, those types of things, personal credits to help you build up the personal credits to buy some stuff for him. Now, dialogue wise, he's going to have another set of dialogue that comes up later. It's going to talk about wild boars, and it's going to talk about some strange creature with a big eye whose name I cannot remember right now. The strange creature with the big eye is the hardest thing to kill on this map. I do not recommend you going after it if it's a newer player. I do have a tutorial that I've done before that I will post of killing it. It's kind of getting lucky that you get a good shot at its eye. So, we're going to go ahead and take a look at Sam's quest, though, because he's asking us to help out with getting some items. Did I change this quest? There we go. So we had to talk to him again. Alright, so there's our little personal reputation quest again. Go back in here. So basically, it tells us three items that we had. So we need a can of engine oil. We need a jar of grease, which we already got. We need 5 spark plugs, and we need a car battery. Now, spark plugs, car battery, and the canister to be able to get into to get the oil can all be found inside the warehouse. We're going to talk to a few other people though, where you can see where you get some of the other items as well. So, once you pick up the quest, we're going to head down to the station. We're going to talk to some people, see if anyone wants to talk to us about having any spare parts for a car. Now, to go back to the very first tutorial we did, if you did not turn in the quest that got rid of the artifact hunting item, it would be very helpful for this part of the quest. And we're going to see why here in just a moment when we get back up to the station. He also said that there's a passenger over here that he would rather not mess with. So the first time I did the walkthrough, I didn't read through all that, and I just kind of clicked through it. I kept trying to find a way to get that passenger over, but apparently nobody wants him to actually leave the station, so we're not gonna, yeah. So we know the items that we need to get him, so we already have the grease on us. So the main things are going to be the spark plugs, the car battery, and the can of oil. So asking about loot, do you have something to exchange other than what you sell? This is the first time this has popped up because we've never talked to the truck driver before. So I have a lot of stuff. What are you looking for? But I warn you, the exchange for the artifacts. So we ask him, he doesn't have a car battery. So if I ask him again, spark plugs, yes. So 1 plug for 1 Mirage artifact. So if we no longer have the item that allows us to do the minigame for the artifact, even if you talk to him again, he's not going to give us another one. So the only option we have to get the spark plug is to find it through the random trash in the junkyard or heading to the warehouse and finding hidden items in there. Now, we have yet to talk to this guy here, the stranger. So we're going to talk to the stranger. Now, no matter what we say, it says, you know, guys who drove the truck in the forest at night, well, thought it was a military raid. Did he crash his truck? What's wrong with you people? Did you fall asleep? People make me so angry. Stupid amateurs. He doesn't help you at all. So, really, there's no reason to ever actually talk to him that I found. So here's the passenger that basically we keep talking to him. And sooner or later, we talk to him into the point that he just gives us a med pack. That's after you talk to the truck driver. So we need a boar. Now, boars spawn in the afternoon, but I'll tell you now, Watchman, he doesn't have anything for us. So we have 2 other people that we could potentially talk to. We have the stranger that's in the middle of the swamp, and then we also have Vlad. So we're going to go talk to both of them and see what we can get when it comes to parts, if they have any parts available for us. I just really had to urge to see if anything was up there. Once again, I love punishing myself, so I would rather run straight through the swamp. And as you guys have seen in my other tutorials, I'm really not in any jeopardy of dying or do damage to myself. There was one time that I kept harvesting a dog and got down to about 30% health while I was getting attacked, but I could have stopped it at any time. So, as a new player, the swamp might be scary, but as you've seen in the other tutorials, the gathering herbs in the swamp is fantastic. You get a lot of bullets out of it, and it's going to make your entire experience out here much, much easier. Now, with these quests with Sam the Driver, it does take a little bit of time and effort and a lot of RNG. So, the reason I do this part of the walkthrough last is because it takes the longest. There's less potential for you to be able to get exactly what you need when you need it. So, we're going to come up here. We're going to go to talk to Vlad first, because Vlad opens up some other dialogue. We're also going to turn in the herbs. And then we'll go talk to the stalker in the swamp. And then from there, we'll determine what we're going to want to do next. As I hit every button but the one button I want. Now, I didn't get to show you guys the key quest because they may have changed something with the key quest because they made it much easier than the last 2 times I've played through this. So this time, I kind of just said, "Hey, I already helped you," and he went ahead and gave me the key. Before, you had to do that repeating dog quest 6 times or so in order to be able to get that key. So getting the items to the warehouse is going to be a lot harder because there's going to be a lot more people that are going into that warehouse. So I have other questions. Do you know where I could get machine oil? He says if I find a canister. Let him, okay, I have another question. I'll come back later. Alright, well, I have wood. Anyways. We're going to go ahead and just turn in whatever herbs we have. Puts us at 175 bullets. So we're going to go ahead and talk to the gentleman in the swamp. Now, just as a heads up, I have gotten Vlad to have a conversation with me one time. And only one time where he offered to actually trade with me. He has a car battery to trade. That being said, you need your rep points with him to be above 120. Which, if you're doing the math, that's at least 8 of the dog quests. Excuse me. 8 of the dog quests. So when it comes down to it, whether you want to deal with the RNG of trying to find it inside the warehouse, which we're going to go to here in a moment, or if you want to try to get the very rare RNG of actually trading with him and having enough personal credits to buy the battery from him. That's basically your 2 levels that you can have. All right. So, in order to get the oil canister from this guy, we have to go ahead and get enough rep that he's going to tell us about the old man that actually lives in the hut. Now, that being said, the last option we have to get actual parts for the truck go to the warehouse. So I was just at the warehouse about 20 minutes ago. Somebody else was also in there. So we're going to try to go back in here in about a minute and a half. And we're going to see if we can get any of the car parts inside the warehouse. Once we do a run inside the warehouse, we will cut off this part of the tutorial until we get closer to completing it. I will continue to stream live just in case we do find any of the pieces, but it'll be the end of a official part of the tutorial stream until we get a little farther along in the storyline. So here's the water tower that if once you have the key, you can come up to this latch here, F, and then choose to use the remove the drain cover. So now you're inside a sealed part of the warehouse. Unlike the tutorial section, there's only a little area that you could actually get into, or like this is only a little area that you could actually run through. So it's not going to be like the tutorial area where it was a large section and go all around. It's literally just this little pane. You have 3 little warehouses and a little larger warehouse that you can go into. Right here is where you'll find the shotgun if this is your first time in here. Other than that, there could be spawns everywhere. There's a briefcase that spawns under there. There's a file cabinet here. So you're looking for anything. Right here, guess what we got? We got our plastic canister. So then we just have to get the oil. So Vlad already told us if we find a canister, he'll tell us where to get the oil. So we will go ahead and do that as part of this tutorial. Continue with spawns. There could be one here in the hood. It's also sometimes a spawn under here, right in front of the wheel. Boxes, like little boxes that kind of look out of place. I've seen a toolbox, briefcases, file cabinets, trash bags. Trash bags also have loot in them. So these are all different things you can find inside these warehouses. Oh, right there's a garbage bag. Now, you do want to watch your radiation. Your radiation does go up in certain parts in here, over by the trash and in this building here. So I always rate to hit my wait to hit my radiation at that point. Alright, so we got no car. Oh. Somebody was here. That crate would have been big. I probably had some car parts in it. So, finding the battery, the spark plugs, this is one of the places that you could do it. Since we don't have the testing item, we're not going to be able to use the testing method of getting the artifacts. So now we're going to go talk to Vlad, because Vlad already told us we got an oil canister. We could go ahead and fill that up. We'll get the oil canister, then we'll run back over and talk to San, do a couple other dialogue items with him. Alright, so believe it or not, where we're going to have to find it is we got to go down to the junkyard. So again, this game really relies on the junkyard for quite a few things. So anytime you're here, always make sure you have the dog quest available and it's not completed, because you're going to constantly be killing dogs this opening section. I'm not sure if that dude is firing at dogs or random players. So, I was definitely not planning on having this long of a segment as part of the tutorial, but it will work since we got the oil can. So the oil can potentially spawn in any of the oil barrel looking areas. I normally find it farther over to the left, so we're going to start kind of in the middle and head left. And this is also going to give us the biggest opportunity to get killed by a dog. we're also going to go ahead and look for any loot boxes in this area, because any loot boxes that we have a potential for giving us the car parts. Now, this is a highly radiated area, so definitely make sure you are paying attention to your rad levels. Hit up your rads when you need to. Alright, so right here, you can see on the map, it's kind of the far end. That's where you can go ahead and pick up the machine oil. Again, we're just checking real quick to see if we have any additional spawns out here that are going to give us any of the car parts. And I'm going to hit anti-rad. And then we'll go talk to San. Once we cover up this dog, we're also going to run towards the train station. I just noticed my water for once is getting a little low. Now the next area, it does have a few water spouts. We got that guy there. He's running with a shotgun, so we're going to kind of run too. Just in case he tries to shoot us. We probably have more stamina than he does, so rather he get shot by the guards trying to shoot me. I think we're fine here. The reason I shot the dog as well is I don't like bringing dogs over to the newer area over here. A lot of the new players can't handle dogs, so. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk to San. Tell him that we got the oil. We got the grease. I don't know if he collects the grease or if he waits until he gets all the parts together, so we'll take a look to see if that dialogue's there. As well as we're going to see if we can open up the dialogue for the secondary quest that he has, which is really just to kill the creature down on the beach. So that will be a different tutorial section that we'll talk about. So as we're running over, I do want to kind of give a little bit of a breakdown. That if you guys are looking to just get through this introductory section and get over to the main quest, do the handcart quests. They're the quickest. They're the easiest. Makes things much better off. Vlad's quests, they're okay. They just take time. Sans quests, they actually are the hardest to do because it's all RNG based. Okay. Here, what happened last night? A Verliok. A Verliok is the hardest thing to kill on this map. It only shows up in the middle of the night. About the spare parts, I've got something. I got the can of oil, and this, I got the grease. Okay, so for those that are wondering, the Verliok spawns in this area about 3 o'clock in the morning. So we got game time 15 hours. Excuse me. 14 and a half hours before it even spawns. So knowing that each hour is 20 minutes, we got a long time before that shows up. The next thing that he did mention to us are wild boars in the afternoon. So in a couple hours, we're going to start being able to kill boars. Now, boars take quite a bit of damage before you take them down. So highly recommend having the shotgun and having a full clip in your pistol. You could take it down with a full pistol clip. In fact, you take it down about 4 to 5 shots of a pistol if you hit it right. If you miss any little bit, it could take all 7. Then at that point, you're looking at trying to reload while it's attacking you. So be careful on that. Other than that, the only other things we could do at this point, keep farming the junkyard for different items, the spark plugs, the batteries, doing runs inside the warehouse. We could also kill more dogs for rep, kill more rats for their tails for rep. But until everything else spawns, guys, this is going to be the end of the first part of the sand tutorial. Stay tuned next. We're going to actually get some of the items and continue to do some of the runs just to show you what it's like and how much of a grind it really is to try to get these items for sand. So, hope you appreciated this walkthrough. Again, any questions, drop a line, and I will get back to you. As always, this is Watch Your Step. I hope you enjoy the tutorials. Stay safe, have fun, and have a great evening.